A special thanks to Akram for this video.
Hi and welcome. I'm so excited that you are enrolling this course. In this course, we're gonna build CRUD application in PHP and MySQL. This application will be so simple. We can add tasks and remove tasks, and we will have pagination here, and we have the ability to print our document. And we will start this from scratch, and I'm gonna take you through all the process and how to do it. This will be easy. We will have also validation, easy validation and basic. We will structure our files and everything. We have the ability to edit our task. We have the ability also to delete task. This is complete CRUD application in PHP, and this is a free course. I'm really excited about this course, and join us in this course. So let's talk about CRUD. What's CRUD and when do we need it, and what tools or scripting language do we need? Examples of CRUD application. What is CRUD? CRUD grid is a very common task in web development. CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. They may exist in a content management system and an inventory management system or accounting software. If you just started web development, you are certainly going to experience a lot of CRUD grid creation work in your later career. The main purpose of CRUD grid is that enables users to create, read, update, delete data. Normally this data is stored in MySQL. Will be the server-side language that manipulate MySQL database tables to give front-end users power to perform CRUD action. So when do we need it? If you're building users-based websites such as forum, social network, or any website that have registration system where user can edit their information or update them, then you will probably going to perform CRUD actions. What tools or scripting language do we need? We need XAMPP. This is software for local web development server. And you're gonna need also code editor, Sublime Text or Notepad++ or Atom, or any software that you like. Example of CRUD. Let's take example of CRUD. When you register on Facebook or Twitter, you're performing one of CRUD actions, which is creating new data in Facebook or Twitter database. This is the create part. When you open your profile on Facebook, you will see your information. Your unique ID will be used to get your data among millions of users. You perform read. When you're updating your information, that is update part of CRUD actions. When you're deleting data, old post, picture, or anything, that is delete part of CRUD action. We're gonna build this application in very simple way, and I hope you understand a little bit of what's CRUD and why we need to use CRUD. And I see you in the next lesson. Hi, the tools that we need in this course is XAMPP Apache server, and this is free for Mac and Windows and Linux also. And we need also Sublime Text. This is also for Mac and Windows and Linux. And you have also Atom. This is a very nice code editor. For Mac users also there is Coda 2. This is not there is this version free, and there is also paid version. So you can use Sublime Text, Atom, or any code editor that you like, but this is the tools that you're going to use. This is just software. It's easy just to download and install like any other software, and that is what we're going to need in this course. And this will be a very short and easy course on CRUD application. So see you in the next lesson. Welcome. When you install your XAMPP software, you're going to get folder also and your C directory called XAMPP. Open this file and open htdocs here, where you're going to develop all your applications. We're going to create new file or folder called CRUD2 because I already have one here, and open your Sublime text and drag and drop your folder. Now open new file, create new file, Control N, save index.php, and this one will be our index file. So let's structure our files here. We need also update.php, and we need also delete.php because it's CRUD app, and also we need add.php or insert or whatever you want. And what else? We need also db.php. Okay, the reason why I created these files is index to display all our data, and update when you want to update our data, and delete of course when you delete any data or task, and add when we add, and db is for our database connections. We're going to create all this later on, but first we need the index. Here we're going to display our all the tasks that we're going to create. So what the nice about Sublime Text is you just type HTML and click tab. This will give you all the necessary HTML tags for you. What else I want here is to add this code. This is jQuery free JavaScript library here, and we have also bootstrap, and we have here is bootstrap.css here and the script here. Normally we keep the scripts in the end of the document here after the closing the body tag, but right now we don't need this because it's very small site. So the title will be CRUD app, and here what we need form. So instead of creating all this and wasting a lot of time, we have in Bootstrap, just go to Bootstrap website and go to tables. We need tables here. This is how you create table. You see long code. It's very easy. Just copy this one and go to your index file. But before that, we need div with container here, div class row, and paste. But before that we need also to give it a title here, title, then the center h1 to-do list. As you can see, we have to-do list in the center of our page. This center tag will center everything that it's inside it. We have h1 tag inside this center. Now what we need div also. Why this div? Because we want md of 10 call for md of offset of 1. Okay, let me, now we have all the contents here, so let me explain what I did here. It's very simple. I created div with a column or 10 columns, md, this is medium size columns, offset of 1, because I want to center all the content here. If I said, for example, offset of 5, see what will happen. This is offsetted by 5 columns here. That's why we just added here 1. So it's in the center now. I want margin from top like 50 pixel or 100. 70 pixel, I think it's great. It's in the center. We have margin here. Now what we need, I need to add a button here and here, or let's add one button to add content. So in the center we need it here, so I'm gonna go here and type let's say button. Why button? You're gonna see why I type of button also. Give it class btn of let's say success. So we have the button now here, but I want to make it here in the left side after the table, I think here. Yeah, we're gonna have the button will be here, and also I need another button. Let's just copy this and paste it here and call it print, because we want to print it. Give it a default class. We have this print. I want to put this print button on the right. So we have a class of bull right. Okay, we have print here, and we have add task. Now when we click add, we want to be able to add task. But first let's edit this table. After here I'm going to add hr, which is line here, and we need also like break tag a little bit. We want to give it a little bit margin. We just need name, I think name and number here, like serial number. Let's call it task. We don't need all this, we need 2 only. We don't need all this. Think here. Now we created the index page or the home page. We're gonna continue adding buttons here in the next lesson. Hi, we're gonna continue our app and we're gonna style it. I wanna add like module when I click add task, and I wanna have also 2 buttons here for editing and deleting, and this button will be for printing our document. This will be also easy. So now let's go ahead to Sublime Text. As you can see, it's getting messy. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you a trick here in Sublime Text. Click Ctrl and Shift and P, and just type uninstall package. You're gonna install package here. This window will appear. Just type beauty. we wanna have this extension for, I already installed, I think, beautiful HTML. I have it here. Just type beautiful HTML here, or beautify HTML, and click OK. This beautify HTML. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna click Control A, select all, and go to edit and press beautify HTML. As you can see, our code will be very nice structured. So now let's add the buttons first. After here, I'm gonna copy this one and add here href tag, and give it a class of btn success. Let's say edit. This is for editing, and another one also will be for deleting. Just copy and paste, make it danger. So when I have it, when I have this button to be red color, delete or remove, delete. Let's take a look. Now we have these two buttons. I want to make this row bigger, so we're going to go to here, the mark, and give it class, call md of 10. Let's see, now it's looking better. And this button, I think, okay, it's looking good. Now let's add the module part here. If you go to Google and search for bootstrap module here, you're gonna find maybe the first, this W3 schools will give you the code here. If you are lazy like me, just copy and paste this one, and instead of typing all, I already have this button, I'll just copy this code. We want to have the model here, and the way this model work is you need to target the ID of the module here, the div. As you can see, this div holds all this content, the module. So this ID should, you remember we made the button here, add task, and we want to target this div, my module. So we're gonna say data target equal to my module, this one. And also we're gonna say data, and we're gonna say data toggle model. Now if you go to, and now if you refresh, now we have this module, as you can see. And by the way, this code will never work if you don't have jQuery. Let's delete jQuery and check if we don't have jQuery. As you can see, that's why we need jQuery code. We want to create form inside this module now. So we go here inside the module here, change the this is the title, make it add task, and here we want to have the form. Inherit in between this div tag, we're gonna say form, so div class, this class will be form group. We're gonna give it a label of task name, and input type of text. We wanna make it required, this required, the name will be task. But still we did not create any database, so on the next part we're gonna create the database, and we will be able to add a task. So let's give it a class of form control. By the way, if you don't have any idea about this classes, it's all bootstrap classes. If you don't know anything about bootstrap, it's very easy. It's framework, CSS and JavaScript framework. It's really great to create any style quickly, any website. It's a very nice library. So we have the input, and we need to have another input for submitting. Name send, and value will be sent. Okay, we need class also, btn, because this is the button. Let's take a look now. Now we have this button, this form. It's very easy. In the next part, we're gonna create the database and interact with it and make the connection and everything in the next lesson. Thank you for watching. Welcome. In this part, we will be building our database. This part is very easy. Just go to your XAMPP application and click admin, and here in MySQL click admin. The database will be opened. Click new, here new, and let's call our database maybe CRUD. Create this database name. Okay, this is the table. We will call the table task. Okay, tasks, and this will be only 2 fields. Click OK. This will be the ID and the name. The ID will be integer, the type integer, will be auto incremented, and the name, make it varchar 100, the length 100, and click OK. Now we have our database here. We need to connect to the database. You remember we have here db.php. We will make the connection now. We will make a variable called db equal to new mysql I. So what I did now here, I created variable and I make instance of this object. This is MySQL object. This new keyword means give me instance of MySQL. Now I have here MySQL class. What I will do here, I can say db connect. Okay, this is function inside MySQL I class. Now this is MySQL class. Okay, I can call any function inside MySQL I. This function takes 4 parameters. The first is localhost, because we're developing in our computer. The second is the username is root. The third is the password. We don't have password. And the fourth is the database name, which is, I think, CRUD. Yes, you remember here we created our database CRUD. Okay, now we make the connection. To test this, we can say if db echo, let's say just success. So just to test if we're connecting successfully, we go to index. We need to include this file, include db.php. So let's update. Successful. It's okay, we connected successfully. We will make if not connected. It doesn't really matter now because we are connected. Anyway, close this file, we don't need anymore. We have the connection here. Now what we want to do first, we want to be able to display the data in here, in this table. What we're gonna do now, in here in PHP tag, we're gonna say we're gonna create SQL variable, any variable, and we call it select star from task. So this statement will select everything on our database in here. Since we don't have anything, this will return nothing. So let's add insert, let's add dummy task, dummy values, task 1, task 2, and remember this is auto incremented. We don't need to add any data here, this will be automatic, and click go. Now we have this task 1, task 2 in our database. We want to display it in here. This should be ID, not number, so serial number. We just change it to ID. Anyway, now we want to display this data. So what you're gonna say, db. If you remember db, we have it here. Okay, we included the file also in here. So it means it's like we copied this code and pasted here. This would include does. Anyway, you can say db query. This is also function inside the db or the mysql I class. What you're gonna say, you're gonna add the SQL variable in here. But first we wanna loop in this variable. We wanna create variable called maybe rows. So in this variable now we have sets of results. We wanna loop through this variable. Okay, we go down here into the table, our table. We will make here in here I mean, in the body, body table, body, the loop will be here. Okay, let's make PHP while we will create row variable equal to this variable. We created rows fetch associate. Okay, to test this now, we close the end while loop. We end the while loop here just to see is this return anything or not. PHP, let's var dump the data or the row. Let's see now what's going on here. As you can see, we have data. Now we want to display in here. You remember this will return associative array, so we can loop through it. We're gonna end we're gonna end the loop in here, and we want to display the ID here. Echo row of ID. Copy this code again and display the data in here. This will be name. If you remember, we have name here and ID here, so we want to display this information now, the ID and the name. Let's save and refresh the page. Indeed, we have the data here, the ID as you can see 1 and 2, and the ID here 1 and 2. Okay, now when you click edit or delete, how we gonna know which one is this? Of course we're gonna use the ID, right? Because this ID will be unique every time, so we can target by the ID. We can delete and edit also. Anyway, now we want to add tasks here. This should be add, not send. So let's change that one to add text. Where is the module? Instead of send, we'll say add task. So now our form, this is our form. To send the form, we need method of post. We're gonna post the data in the database, and action will be add.php. Why add PHP? Why add.php? Because whenever someone clicks add task, this form will take all the data and will display it here, or will post it in this page. That's why we need to add it here. We can also post it in the same page if you remove this action, or we can say also index.php. Anyway, let's go to add.php and just echo out okay to see if everything is okay. Let's refresh the page and go to here and click add. Okay, as you can see, and here we have add.php, so everything is okay. Now we need a way to add the task. So what you're gonna say here, we have the task name, we have this input name of task, we wanna target this one, but before we're gonna make condition that if the user clicks send here, send, then we're gonna add this task, or we're gonna take the values in this input type. We're gonna go here and to the add page, remove this, we don't need it. So we're gonna say if is set post send, okay. If it's set, what you're gonna say, if it's set, we will create a value called name, this name also. Okay, this is as I said, you're gonna get this data from this form. This is the data that you're gonna get from this super global variable called name, and we will store the data in name. Okay, now we can display name, you can say name. So now whatever data you put it here, this will be displayed in the next page. Let's say hi, welcome, click OK, and define name. Oh, not name, task. this should be task, sorry. So now if we refresh the page, if we click add and say hi welcome, click add, you see hi welcome, because we already received the data from the super global variable post. So what we need to do now, we need to include this db. We will include the db here, and we need to create SQL again, or variable, insert into tasks values. So what you're gonna insert in where name. Notice here between single quotes with name, and the value should be between quotes. Name is this name that we get it from this global variable. This should be inserted inside the database. Insert into task. So this will not only now we need db query, and we're gonna give it SQL, the variable that we created. Let's add also another variable, call it value or anything, because we wanna test this now. If val echo, let's echo between h1 tag, h1 successfully inserted. So what this mean is, it's mean if this value is true. You can say also equal to true, but this is the short way to do it. This mean is if there is a value here, display successful. So let's test now. Refresh the page. See, this is first task, add successfully. And how we make sure it's successful? Go to the MySQL. As you can see, we inserted the data successfully. Now also the data is here, already inserted. So now what we don't wanna display this message. If it's successful, we're gonna make a header location index.php. So if the data is okay inserted, go back to index page. This header means this will take you any page. If you add like update or anything, this will take you there. It's like href tag. Let's test again. Add task, hi there, click add. As you can see, we added. So we now successfully created the database and connected, and also created this form. So next part we wanna be able to edit. When we click edit, we wanna go to next another page, and we will be able to edit whatever we inserted. So see you in the next lesson. Welcome. We're gonna make the delete part in this section. This will be so easy. Just we need a way to target every task using the unique ID. This is very simple. We have, remember here, delete.php. We're gonna say delete.php question mark id equal to php echo row of id. So let's me explain this code. It's very simple. We have href tag here. When we click this href tag, this will take us to delete.php !id. So this is we're gonna also add id in here. The id will be up here in query string, so that's why we added !id equal to echo row of id. This id is the same id that we displayed in here, the same id. So now if we refresh the page and hover over any of this if we hover on this button, now you can see here down on the page id equal 1 2 3 4. Okay, when we click now, nothing will happen, but of course this link will be delete.php id equal to something. Now go to delete.php, we make tag php tag here. You're gonna say id equal this variable id get. This is also this is super global. Now if you echo out the id, if we click delete, now we're gonna see the id here. Same with the other one, id2. So how this thing happened? Because we have query string here up in the page. When you click delete, as you can see, delete.php id equal to something. Now we use get super global here to get this id, exactly this id. We can make also, instead of id, you can say anything like my name. Okay, but we should make also here, instead of id, my name, the same. So now let's refresh the page and click. As you can see, my name equal to something. So you can call this anything. So we better make it id so you can understand better. So what you're gonna do now, we're gonna create variable sql delete delete from task where id equal to what? Equal to this id, equal to this id. Now we need query db query sql, but now nothing will happen. This will be undefined because we need to include the db, because this is a new file now. So we included the db. We can use db now, this variable. So now let's test. We can say also like if we can say this echo, let's say done. Let's click here, done. This id number 1 deleted. Let's check. id number 1 deleted already. So instead of this is not very efficient. we better take this code val make value variable here, and we can test this var now. This is more efficient than the old way. So now what we need the header like we did before, header location index.php. So when we delete anything now, this will take us to the same page. So click delete. Oops, unexpected. Oh, sorry, this one. So if we refresh the page now, click delete, we deleted 1 and 2 and 3. We have nothing now. We can add another data in the same way. So we're done with the delete part. Thank you for watching. Hi, in this part we're gonna implement update part. This is exactly what we have done in delete part. So this will be very simple. Also let's copy the entire page index.php, and we go to update and paste the code here. We don't need all this code, we just need the form. That's all we need. Let's make it, let's call it update. No, toolist. Here, instead of add task, update task. Here also update task. Okay, but we don't need this module here. We're gonna remove this module. Let's delete. Oh no, module, we don't need module. We need only the form. We don't need all this, delete and delete. We don't need the table also. Let's delete the table. Okay, now we have, let's check now. Before that, in the update or edit part, we need the same code as we did before. And here I'm gonna take all this code because we need the ID only, and instead of delete I'm gonna say update ID equal to something. Now if we click update, this will take us to this page. We don't need this button also, and print, we don't need it. So let's get rid of this button. We don't need this button. We don't need print. This module also should delete it. Oh, sorry. We don't need the button here, print and update. We don't need these two buttons, we just need this one. So now we don't need this SQL to display all the data, and instead of this we're gonna select all from task where ID equal to id. This id comes from also the global variable get. Same that we did before. Get id. So this id will be here. So we select all from task where id equal to this id. We make the query now. We just need to fetch. We don't need row, or we don't need loop, because only one row will return. So what you're gonna say, just one row equal to rows fetch assoc or associative array. This will be here. Let's var dump let's var dump row. As you can see, we have data. We can display the data now inside of this input. We're gonna say value we need PHP tag here, echo row of the name only, or task no name only. So now if we refresh the page, now we see we get the ID. Now and instead of to-do list, we're gonna make this one update to-do list. So now everything is okay, but we need way to update. So what we're gonna do here is make another SQL. This will be an update from task set name equal to task, and this task comes from here, name task. Now we need to query this SQL as we did before. So now after this, we're gonna say header location like before, index.php. We did not make any validation here, just update. Now when you click edit, we need to check if it set this post. If this post set, we're gonna do all this thing. So we're gonna say if is set this time post send. This will happen only if someone updates or click the update. Let's refresh the page, click edit. Now let's change this to anything. Nothing happened. Oh, I did not get the data here. We don't have this task now. We need to click task and call it. We need to get this data. Task. So now if we refresh and click edit, click OK. I did mistake here. I shouldn't say update from, just update task, set task where id equal to that id that we get it from the query string. Now if we refresh the page, click edit and edit this thing, click OK. Now we edit this one. We can edit this also. Now we edit. Oh, we can delete, we can add, and we can edit also. So now we're done with this part, and next part we're gonna make a pagination here. So imagine if we have thousands of records, it will be very hard to display 1,000 records in one page. So that's why we're going to need pagination here, and that will be easy to do it if you just understand. So we're gonna implement pagination in the next lesson. Welcome, let's start creating our pagination in this lesson. This will be easy, that's not that difficult. We want to create a variable page equal to is set get page. This is ternary if condition. So this is a page, this is variable, new variable, and query string. We're gonna make it. We're gonna check if it's set page. This is a question. We're gonna check if the page is set. We're gonna set the same value that already have. Otherwise, we're gonna make it 1. Second, per page equal to is set. We're gonna also check if it's set get per page and we're gonna check again. We have another condition here. We have another condition in here. I'm gonna say get per page less than or equal to 50 question mark. I'm gonna explain this per page, otherwise set it to 5. So what this line of code means, we're gonna check if we have per page in our query string in here, per page like this one. Like this one, per page like this one in here per page. We're gonna check first if we have this variable and query string, and we're gonna also check if it's less than or equal to 50. If this condition is true, we're gonna set the variable. Otherwise, we're gonna set it to 5. Now we need to start this start. We're gonna use it in our SQL here condition. We're gonna edit this one. We're gonna add limit to it. So this limit will start with this variable called start. So this start, we need condition if page greater than 1. Okay, question mark, we're gonna make the calculation here, page multiplied by per page, per page minus per page, otherwise equal to 0. So we make this calculation here. We're gonna check first if page greater than 1, then we make the calculation here, page multiplied by per page, we minus per page, otherwise we're gonna set it to 0. Now we will use this start in here. We're gonna make a limit, because this is, we're gonna limit the results that we are getting from the database. So we need here double quotes, periods, then we're gonna give it start variable, and also we're gonna give it here the upper page. Now what we need also, we have to know how many results, how many records we have in the database. So to check to check how many results that we have in the database, we're gonna create a variable called total. This total will equal to db, because we need a query. We're gonna select start from our database. We can chain also, because we only want the number of records. We're gonna say num rows. Now if we echo out this result, this should be select start from. Now we get 10 records. Now we have the total number of rows in here. Now we need to know how many pages equal to total divided by per page. Let's echo out this number and see how many results we got. We got 2. But if we say page equal to 5 and per page equal to, let's say, 3 or 5, we will get the result in here. But sometimes this will not give us the exact number. This will give us maybe a decimal value, so we need the ceil function. And this ceil function will round numbers to nearest integer, so we will get only integer value, no decimal numbers. So now we need the for loop here. After the end table, we will create a center tag and ul li href. Let's give it number 1. So this is, we're gonna give it class of pagination because it's bootstrap. Let's check if this one work. So we have number 1 now. Let's give it we need the loop here. Let's make the loop first. Create PHP tag and for loop I equal to 1, because we want to start from 1. I less than or equal to pages that we created. I plus plus. This will loop through our we will end for here. So now let's display I between this a tag php echo I, and let's check now. We have two results in here, 1 and 2, because we displayed only 5 results of 10. We have 10 records. So now even if we click now, nothing work. We're gonna give it the values in here, pages equal to php. We close. We will display I in here. Let's refresh. Now if we click number 2, this 2 result will display, 1 and 2. I forgot to fix this. The get should be written this way. So now if we refresh the page, and click number 1 and 2, I think everything is working. So I didn't pay attention for this variable. This should be written the same way as this one. Apologize for this. Now our pagination is working. If we check, click 1 and 2, but we want to also add in here per page, right? So and per page equal to php echo. Where we're gonna get this per page? We have already per page here. So let's just echo out per page in here. If we refresh the page now and click 2, we get 5 of, we get the page 1 and per page equal to 5. We got all the results in here. Now we can add as many records as we want. This will be even faster because only 5 results will be displayed. This will not take too long. So we're done with this pagination now, and see you in the next lesson. Let's go ahead now, start with our validation. So first we have to make here, we have to cast this into integer. So if the user or anyone try to put letters or something, this will cast to integer. So I forgot to save. And also in here we should cast to integer, int. So then we will cast this integer and this one to integer. So this is the pages, this variable will be forced to integer, so nothing else will accept it. Then I think we're done in this one. And about the delete, we're receiving the ID here, and also this one we will cast to integer. So in the database, this will be also integer. And when we update, we will do the same here, int. This also casts it to integer. And also we are updating in here, so we have the value here in super global post. We have HTML special chars. So this function to prevent any injection, SQL injection. We are good here. And when we add in the data, and also this should be HTML special char. to prevent any SQL injections. So now let's test our app. Add new item, click add new item, and in the next part we're gonna make small changes. Also we will make this button, we want to print this document. This will be very easy, only one line of code. And I think we also gonna make this one better, our table. So we'll see you in the next lesson. Welcome guys, and this lesson, this will be the final lesson. We're gonna add the functionality to print when we click on print, and we're gonna add some styling in here. This will be very easy. We go to our table, and here it's bootstrap. This is our table. We're just going to add table hyphen hover. Now if we refresh the page, you see we got this nice hover on our table. Now the button, we have print button here. This will be also easy. Just on click, type on click, print. This is ready function. Now if we refresh the page and click print, this will print our document. And I think that's it. Our app now it's working. We can add and delete and edit our data and anything, like hi there, update. And also I want to add only another button here, update. When we click, like cancel, so this will take us back to index page instead of clicking here. So go to update page, and where we have the button in here, the input, we're gonna make a href index.php. Let me give it a class of btn default or warning. Say back. Now refresh the page, we have this button, but we need a little space, so we will add a space between the buttons. Refresh. Now when you click, we go back to home page. I think we're done here. I hope you understand and enjoy in this course. I'm really glad that you finish this course, and please don't forget to visit our website Flytots, and please don't forget to rate this course, and visit us in our website flytots.com, and our Facebook Flytots also. The link will be displayed here, and the code will be available to download, and the database also will be available to download and practice. And this is very simple and easy, very easy to understand, because this concept, to understand this concept is very important. And by understanding this concept, CRUD concept, you will be able to create a registration system, a login system, and many other stuff. So this is really important to understand. So thank you for watching again, and enrolling in this course, and thank you for rating, and see you in future courses. Welcome guys. In this lesson we want to upload our app on our server, so this will be online, we can use it, or anyone can use it. This is very easy. And first you should have hosting. I have GoDaddy hosting. Then next, just take all your file and zip it. Okay, you should don't forget to select zip, not rar, because some hosting does not support rar. I have my file here, so I'm going to go to my hosting and click file manager. We will go here to file manager. Okay, we will create some new folder. Let's call it CRUD. Inside this folder we want to upload our zip file. Click upload and browse the file. I think my file I uploaded in XAMPP htdocs crud2, and this is it. And we wait a little bit until this finish. After that we can reload and see our files. So we unzip our files in here. This is our control panel. This is unzipped file. We go inside and we select all files and we want to move it. So click move to CRUD, not CRUD2, the folder that we created, and move all the files. Now we have all the files in here. This we don't need. This one we can remove it, and we can remove the zipped file. So we have our files in here. Now if we browse our files, phpcrud, this is my folder. Our app is working, as you can see, but there is no database, so we need to create a database now. And this is easy actually to do it. You remember we have here db.php. Later on we will change these settings. Go ahead and create database, and in your hosting go to here database, click on database. We will create a database that we'll call it CRUD, or whatever database you want. So let's create database and call it CRUD. I already have CRUD2. Let's call it CRUD3. It doesn't matter, you can call it anything. We just need a name. We created CRUD3, so our database is CRUD3 now. We have our database here. We need to assign user to it. So we have user here. We need to assign this user. We give it the privilege. Click make changes. Now everything is ready. We just need to connect to our database. So as you can see here, CRUD3, the privilege, users, we have the name here. So now we go to our DB and change the settings here. Click view or edit, click edit. This is the old setting. We need to change it. This depends on your hosting. On GoDaddy you don't need to change the local host. It's already localhost. You just need to change root and password and the database name. You remember we call it CRUD3. So we need the username here and password. And where you're going to get this username and password? Go to your hosting. You can find on your hosting the database name. The database name, you will find it here, the user that we assign, and the password that you already set on your hosting. You use the same database. So in GoDaddy, as I said, we don't need to change this. We will change only the name, and the password. so everything is okay now. But until now nothing will work because we created database but there is no data in it. So I will show you how to add. Let's go to not file manager, let's go home, we will go to insight, we will go to database, and here we go to admin php my admin, because we have CRUD 3 here. Now what we're going to do, you remember we created a database in this is the local server, this is XAMPP application. Go to admin, this is our local database. Okay, we have CRUD here, just export, click export, because we want to export this database. We already exported. Okay, now we go to our admin here, php my admin, in our hosting. Okay, this is the local version and this is the online version. So click import and we select the file that we already exported. So we select that file and click go. So our database now in here, and let's check now, refresh the page, boom. We have all our data. Now our app is online. Let's test this now. Let's call it anything like hey there, click add task, let's check hey there. So now our app is online, and the process is very easy, as you saw. You just need to change the connection values here. You will change CRUD 3, you will change the database name and username and password, and that's it. And you will upload but first don't forget to create database. Okay, you create database, you assign user to it, then you will select that user information and you put it here, and you add the database name, and you are ready to go. So thank you for watching, guys. This was extra lesson, and okay, see you in future courses. Thank you. Alright, welcome, and today we're going to add search functionality to our application, the CRUD application, as Brian requested to add for search functionality. This is actually easy, and I'm going to show you. So this is our application. Alright, so what we're going to add, what we need a form here, okay, or input here, so we can search. Alright, so what we're going to do before we create the table here, let's just create a div with call md12 and text center. This is all bootstrap classes we can use because we are using bootstrap. So let's add search here. Alright, so next we're going to need div, form with class of let's say form group. Alright, the action is search.php, the page that we're going to create, and the method will be post. Okay, and next what we need input type with form control, because this is bootstrap anyway. And let's add placeholder. You can say search And for sure we need a name. Why we need a name? Because we are using PHP, so we can target this name. Anyway, let's say search, so we can know this is a search. Let's first take a look and see. Alright, we got the form here. Anyway, what we need next, so now whenever we press enter, search something and press enter, this should take us to search.php, the page that we're going to create. So next we're going to need another page, and this page will be in CRUD 2, yes, and this will be search.php. Alright, so let's save this. So this page search.php will look the same as the index page. So I copy everything and paste it here. So let me make this PHP. Okay, so there is a lot of code that we are not going to need, so let's delete the pagination code, and we don't need to know how many pages we have for now, even though we can use pagination also, but let's make it simple so we can understand how the search mechanism works. So what we need, let's delete this, and we don't need a limit, so we're going to select everything, right? And the total pages, we don't need to know how many pages we have. Anyway, let's make here if statement. What we're going to say, if it's set, so if the user sends something, okay, search, because we have already name, we have input type of text that we called a name. Okay, this is it. Where is it? This name, search. Okay, so we can know if someone send a post request. Let's grab all this and paste it here. Okay, select start from all tasks. The task is here, we have in our database, so this is our task. So after we select everything, so what we're going to say, what we're going to type is select start from tasks where name like what, like name. This is variable. We're going to create this variable now. So this variable will going to get the value from the post, the super global post, the name search. Alright, so this will contain anything the user will input. Alright, so let's add a little bit of validation like HTML special char or chars. Okay, so this will prevent us from SQL injection and something like that. So after we search, so this SQL, we're going to make the query here in this row. So this row will be displayed here. But first we have to check if we have any result, right? So before we create the table, let's make PHP here and say if MySQL num rows. So this means if there is nothing in the result, this row is here, this is the row whenever we search something. Okay, what will happen here? So this means we don't this means we don't have any result. Okay, I'm going to say else, and we're going to end the if statement maybe here after the body tag PHP indef. Alright, so if we don't have any result, what we're going to do, we're going to just display h2. Let's give it class of text maybe text danger, so make it red color, and text center, nothing found. Right, and we can give the user the ability to go back to index page, index.php. So if the user did not get any result, he can go back to home page. Let's say go back. Alright, so I think it's okay. So we don't need, I think we don't need the pagination, right? We delete it. Let's delete this also. The table will end here, so alright, I'm going to end the table here, and let's check this. Hopefully this will work. So let's say doing. Alright, we got errors, MySQL number. Alright, so I forgot to add single quote here. We just need a single quote. So remember, don't take any spaces or add any spaces, just type as it is. So make it bigger so you can see. This is how you write SQL. You don't need any spaces or anything, otherwise you're going to get error or empty result. Anyway, here the if statement, we're going to say MySQL I num rows less than 1. So let's test this. If we type just A, we got all the result because we have a letter in all this result. If we search anything that is not in our database, we got nothing found. So for example, let's search for fixing. We got the result. We can edit and everything will work the same. So we could also add pagination if we want, but I want to make it simple for us to understand the search mechanism and how we can work with search. We're done with search functionality. I think our application became better. We could add more functionality if you have anything in your mind, so don't forget to share your question or concern. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you in the future lectures.